So picking up from our last video where we talked about the Trike and how it's really just not going to work out. I've got parts showing up. Tube and rear tire came in, and the other parts are going to be here real soon. So I think what I'm going to do to start this, we'll call it a trike to a bike conversion. Should be relatively simple as long as the parts that I got all kind of fit. I'm going to start taking this rear swing arm off, the chain, foot pegs. I guess I'll leave the motor in there now just so that I can, fire it up to keep that anti-gravity battery charged. But I'll go ahead and start taking that apart and get all those parts on the table, and we'll start putting our bike parts back on. Looks kind of sad now, but we're just getting started. So now I've got the swing arm off, shocks, chain, swing arm bolt bushings, shocks. I managed to pull the rear brake off as one whole assembly, so hopefully I don't have to bleed that again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to strip down the rear axle assembly, get it down to its individual pieces, and I'll store the swing arm somewhere. Maybe we can use it for something else at a later date, but yeah, let me show you guys. Apparently there is some chain misalignment, because we've got a pretty decent gouge on our swing arm. You can see where the chain was rubbing, which I knew it wasn't the best position, because I had to, if you look, I had to really cut this sprocket guard off, like pretty much in half, because the chain came down instead of straight back. Oh look, even did some damage to our case there. So yeah, good thing this one's going in a go-kart. But after I get the swing arm all stripped down and everything, next to come out is the motor on this. And hopefully we can do it and take the carb off and let the carb dangle, and that'll just transfer over. And most of our wiring that is connected to the motor is really just unplug, and we're good to go for the next motor. Foot pegs off. Yeah, looking pretty sad, but it'll be worth it. So I'm going to go ahead and knock this out, and I'll bring you guys back once it's all done. Well, that's it. Everything that went into this rear swing arm and axle assembly, it's all off, all taken apart, and I'm going to stash this somewhere for maybe a future project, and the rest of it is either going to go back on the Monkey mini bike or go on Brantley's go-kart. So a little bit of a failure on my part. Didn't really pay attention when I ordered some of these parts, but I'll insert a picture of exactly what's happening. With this rear brake kit and hub assembly, I could not get my wheel and tire to fit. The caliper would hit the wheel and I couldn't get it bolted on correctly. I'm sitting here beating my head against the wall trying to figure out what the heck's going on. Took it apart, maybe thinking I assembled something wrong, put it back together, same problem. Went and checked the description for the hub kit and brake kit. Sure enough, will not work with 8-inch wheels. I don't know, guys. This build is kicking my butt. So you saw the 8-inch wheel was not going to fit, so I ordered a new 10-inch wheel, and here it is compared to the 8-inch wheel. Big difference. Another major difference, that's a 2-piece wheel, so putting it together is a lot easier than having to mount a tube and tire on a 1-piece. And it looks like it's going to work. It is an offset wheel, so I have to mount it and make sure that the wheel is offset on the right side of the hub. No big deal. And I think I can get the tire on, no more difficult than anything else. What I failed to do, though, is, so I'm putting a 10-inch wheel on the rear because of the disc brake conversion. This bike is going to look awfully stupid with a 10-inch wheel on the rear and the 8-inch wheel in the front. So back to eBay we go to order a 10-inch front wheel that will come via a very slow boat from China. I had to wait, I think, 2.5, almost 3 weeks for that rear wheel. So I was really hoping to have this bike done by now, but yeah. If I were gonna nickname this bike, it would be called a failure. So through the beauty of video magic, it'll be just a blip in time for you guys when the 10-inch wheel shows up, but for me it'll be a couple weeks. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the tire and everything on the rear wheel, get the offset straight, and probably have to cut some spacers for the rear axle, get everything bolted up, make sure it's good to go. I might ride it with the 8-inch wheel just to make sure everything else is good, and then once the 10-inch wheel comes in for the front, get it all, the tire and everything mounted on that, and get it on the bike. And I think I've got 1 or 2 little things. I've also got to make a like a turn down or something for the exhaust, because it blows right onto the seat, and it's pretty hot in this area, so I see it melting the seat. So I got to make some sort of turn down or turn down and out kind of tube. Other than that, I think that's it. So that's just the waiting game. Maybe that's the name for the bike, the waiting game, because I've been waiting on parts for what seems like forever. So all right, when I come back, we'll have our 10-inch front wheel and 10-inch rear wheel. Well, that's it for this one. This is officially done now. It took a really long time, but we finally got it done. If you're looking for some of these parts, the tank, the seat, and the side covers all came from the same eBay store, Monkey Wings. I'll link it down in the description. And this bike already has it says 48 miles. Here, if you don't believe me. Since I got this done and running, the amount of time that I rode it before, when it had the 8-inch wheels, when it was a trike and all that, plus all the time that it got when friends came over and were kind of skeptical of such a little bike, and they took it for a ride, and it was really hard to get them to get off the thing. So yeah, it's a big hit. Everyone loves it. It's fun to ride. It's quick for what it is. It's got enough power, even with the upgraded front sprocket to a 17 tooth, that it tries to lift the front wheel off the ground if you're not careful. It's real nimble. It's light. It's easy to turn. Yeah, it's just an all-around awesome bike. It's even made an appearance in the neighborhood 4th of July parade, where it got rave reviews. But yeah, that's it for the little monkey bike build, from a trike to a little bike. Until next time, guys, get out there and do it.